Hello, this is Molly from the CMSNet Help Desk. Today I will be doing a webinar for GHPP users. I'm going to be showing GHPP on how to create an application letter series. There are several parts to this webinar. Part 1, I'm going to show you how to create an application letter from correspondence module. Part 2, I will also show you how to bypass due process and create the second letter if necessary. I will also be showing you in Part 3 how to the chance to go directly from correspondence module from registration after reopening a case or creating a new client. I will also be showing you in Part 4 and 5 how to update the application status either from registration or correspondence module. And then I will also show you if you need to start a new cycle or switch to a different letter type. Let's go ahead and start with Part 1. In Part 1, I'm here in the correspondence module, and I have my client already selected. To generate an application letter, you just simply have to click on Create Letter. The system will take you to the Create Correspondence screen. Select the categories Application Letter Series and Non-Series. The correspondence drop-down for letter type is now enabled. Use the drop-down to select your letter type. You have 3 options. In this example, I'm going to go ahead and do the initial application financial. The system auto-populates the primary addressee. The last step, click Save and Print. And this is the step on how to create an application letter. Let's go ahead and do another example. So here I put in my client, click Create Letter, select the application letter series and non-series as the category, select your letter type. In this example, I'll go ahead and do an annual review this time, annual application. System auto-populates the addressee information. Last step, click Save and Print. And this is your letter. Let's go ahead and view your letter. This is the application letter that we just generated. If you scroll down to the bottom, the system auto-display the next letter due date. This is something new for series letter. If it's a series letter, if you view the letter, it will show you when the next letter is going to be generated. On 5/23/2014, the second letter is going to auto-generate in Ready to Send, and it is up to the user to check their daily Ready to Send on the home page, right here on the home page, the Ready to Send link. If you have anything showing up here in number 1 or number 2, you need to click on that link and view your letters and print your letter to null. Now, Part 3, I was telling you is that, Part 2 is that for GHPP, you are allowed to bypass the tickler rule. And if you need to, for whatever reason, generate the second letter on demand, you can do so. And that is simply by going to the correspondence module, click Create Letter for your client, select Application Letter Series and Non-Series. If you remember the previous example, I just sent out the first letter. Now if I click on the correspondence drop-down, the system is going to display 4 letter types. The previous example, I did the annual application, number 1. If I want to start over, I could, but if I want to do the second letter, if I needed to do a second letter, in this example, I'm going to do a second one. I'm going to go ahead and select the final, number 2. System auto-populates the primary addressee. Click Save and Print. And that's how to generate the second one on demand. Part 3, I'm going to show you how to create an application letter after reopening the case in registration. So I'm going to go ahead and let's go to Travel over to Registration. And I select my client. Edit Client. As you can see here, I have a not open case. Let me go ahead and explain the rules to you. As long as whenever you have a not open, a denied, or a closed case, and you reopen the case, Or if you're creating a brand new client, when you save, the system is going to ask you, do you want to generate an application status series on successful save? If you click no or cancel, the system will keep you in the patient information screen, the current screen that I'm at right now. If I click yes, the system is going to navigate me to the correspondence module, allowing me to generate the application letter. So as you can see, and I click yes, and it navigated me to the create correspondence, where now I have the chance to select my letter type. In this example, I'll go ahead and do an incomplete and do save and print. So basically, like I said in registration, after reopening a case, it will, if you say yes, it will navigate you to the correspondence, and you can generate the application that way as well. Or, like I said, come directly to the correspondence module and generate it from here by clicking on the Create Letter, doing your letter option, and then doing the category and save and print. So the next part I'm going to show you is how to update the application status via registration. So part 4 and 5 is very similar, but just done in 2 different modules. So in registration, to me, it's a lot easier to update the status. Correspondence module, you have to search for the letter. So let's go ahead and show you how to update from registration first. So I'm going to go ahead and travel back to the registration module. I have my client here selected. Edit patient. The system lands me into the patient information tab. The additional information tab is what you need to click on to update the status. Here, if you notice, there's an application status section. This is new. If you uncollapse the client information, you'll notice that the application status first letter has already been sent. And let's say I received the application today. I'm going to go ahead and update the status as either sign or no action. So let me go ahead and explain this section to you. Application status. If you choose sign app, the system is going to enable the app receive date, allowing you to enter the date you received, the date for sign. Application status comment, whatever you enter here after saving, the system will generate an automatic case note with the status, app receive, and the comment. You may also do no action to stop the tickler if you don't want the second letter to generate. You can do no action. Then the system's going to enable the no action reason. Select the reason. Whether you enter comments here or not, the system, after you save, will generate a case note for the status, the reason, and the comment. Okay? So for this example, I'm going to go ahead and say I received the sign app, and I'm going to go ahead and enter my comment and save. And this is updating the application status as sign app. Now let's say I made a mistake. Oops, I did it on the wrong client. To undo, simply just put it back to select. There you go. Click save. Now the system is not going to auto-generate a case note for this action of undoing. So if you previously did it on the client, you may have to go to case note module and delete that other case note that you generated for the status. But this is just an example of if you did it by mistake. But simply to update the application status is by going to the additional info tab, enter your status, enter your reason, and enter your comment if necessary, and save. Now the other place for you to update the status is also via correspondence module. Here I have a client selected, and I have my first letter sent. Let's say I received the status. Received the application. The steps that I did was enter my client, click search letter. System lands me in the correspondence search results screen. Click correspondence description. Scroll down to the bottom of the page. And here, my next letter is going to generate 5/23/2014. The next letter is a G36A. But I don't need the second letter. So I'm going to do no action, no response, and save. Once I save, the tickler is going to disappear. There you go. All right? And if you need to undo, if you did it by mistake, just travel over to the registration module, additional information tab, and undo it there. So that's part 4 and part 5. The next one I'm going to show you is how to start a new cycle or switch to a different letter type if necessary. If there is no application status entered in either part 4 or 5, when you try to generate another application letter, the system's going to prompt you with a message that says, do you want to cancel the existing active letter series? You will have to say yes if you really want to generate a new letter type. If the application status exists on the letter series already, you will not be prompted with the message, and that's because you either enter in some information, a sign app, or you stop the tickler by doing no action. Okay? So let's go ahead and show you how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and enter my client. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to enter my client, click Create Letter. For the category, I'm going to do Application Letter Series and Non-Series. I'm going to go ahead and select my letter type. Now, because I already have a series existing, the system is going to pop up with a message. Starting a new cycle will cancel existing letter cycles. Do you want to start a new cycle? If I say cancel, the system is going to take me back out. If I do Create Letter, and if I go back in, do Start a New Cycle, oops, sorry, not Start a New Cycle, select a letter type, the system pops up with this message. If I say OK, what the system is going to do is it's going to go ahead and auto-populate the primary addressee, and the last step is just to click on Save and Print. And voila, here is my letter type. I'm going to go ahead and show you my previous canceled series and my new letter is right here. Okay? So that concludes the webinar on application letter series for GHPP. I basically showed you how to create the application letter from the correspondence module, how to bypass the particular date to to generate your second letter on demand. I showed you how to navigate from registration when reopening a case or creating a new client. I also showed you how to update the status from registration and also from correspondence module. I also showed you how to start a new cycle if necessary. If you did a letter on one letter type and you want to switch to a new one, whether or not the system will prompt you depends on if the existing series has or does not have a status entered. So thank you very much for listening to the webinar. This is Molly from the CMSNet Help Desk. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email, cmshelp@dhcs.ca.gov.